Hi there again. I hope everything's well with all of you out there. Today is a hopefully much shorter video than yesterday because we're going to talk about some songs from San Marino in Eurovision, and there are not that many of them. Whether that's fortunate or unfortunate, I leave that up to you, but let's say that San Marino has had a bit of both, and when I just kind of look over them here, I take a quick glance. I notice that they're in the incorrect order. Something like that should be accurate. Regardless, you know how this works already. There are a few songs, there are a few categories. Let's place some songs into said categories. Starting with Complice by Mio Dio from 2008, which finished last in its semifinal, scoring 5 points. That's it. Fantastic. It's a fantastic song. I don't know what happened in 2008 because this is a perfectly dramatic ballad. Very well executed. Incredible songwriting. I love the piano opening. It's a very kind of impactful melody. It has this completely what do you call it? Like a vulnerable tone to the piano. It's a very intimate setting. The way that it opens, it's also quite a nice sound design on it because it's very hollow and on its own in the soundstage. And then as the song kind of just builds, it builds around this kind of piano arrangement. The vocals are quite whispery and intimate at the start, more dramatic for the choruses where the guitars get dragged into the song. The guitars sound good. I like the distortion on them, and I also like how drawn out the whole playing of said guitars are. Just really well put together. The kind of climax of the song where this whole instrumentation just expands towards the end is a flawless moment that actually gives me chills. I think it's a perfectly well executed rock ballad. No complaints with it anywhere. I guess some people might consider it a bit slow. Maybe that's why it just kind of got ignored back in 2008. But I do know that this song has a few fans, which kind of makes me happy because I'm one of them for sure. I'm a massive fan of this song. Presentation is strong as well. I mean, it's 2008 standards. It looks good. It sounds incredible. When the whole instrumental backs up, that the instrumental backup just comes together at the end. It's fantastic. With the kind of desperate tone in the vocals as well. It's a very assertive song that still has a very emotional baggage to it. And I think the presentation is actually incredible. The chord progression is nice. The melody is hard hitting. It's a very nice intonation to the melody, which is just being kind of enhanced by the vocal performance. I really, really love it to bits. Fantastic. Can't believe that's probably their worst result and will probably remain their worst result because scoring 5 points in a semifinal will probably give you a last place. That's my guess. 2011, it's a very anonymous entry. I don't remember what it's called, but you recognize the artist in question, which is Senhit. The song is just a big kind of collection of nothingness to me. There's this mellow tone to it. The instrumentation isn't too bad, but it's just too uninteresting, not very remarkable in any area. Simply not for me. Can't tell you anything about the song really. It doesn't stick to my head. It doesn't really take any unexpected turns or anything interesting in the soundstage or instrumental or either the vocal performance. That kind of just stands out about it. It just goes on for 3 minutes and leaves me wishing that I could have listened to something else for those 3 minutes. Unfortunately, things would turn around for her eventually. 2012, the Social Network song, which originally was called the Facebook song, I believe. It's a big what happened here. It's horrendous. It's funny, I guess, but yikes, I don't know what to say. It's the hook is awful. The instrumental is almost insulting in its poor lack of quality. And yeah, the whole concept of the song is just, I don't think it's funny. Some people probably do think it's funny, and that's completely fine, but I just don't kind of connect with the joke, and when you don't connect with the joke, you think it's probably the worst thing in the world. So that's me. Big what happened here, and especially what kind of makes it more infuriating is that Valentina came back 2 years in a row afterwards and did something serious and did it quite well, I think. Um, I uh, is this song called Vola? No, she's only singing Vola or Voda, or I think it's called like Chrysalide or Chrysalide, or it's a really great entry. I think it's a big drama. Like the evolution of the song, I'm quite fond of. I like the presentation. It's a very nice stage performance with choreography, um, with great movement, and it kind of just goes hand in hand with the movement of the song because it's a build, has a lot of life to it, I think, and when the song really just kind of picks up energy, it's really pleasant to just follow along. I think this song, solid vocal performance, everything's just really great about it. Not much more to say. Maybe is also quite strong. This was the first time they made the final. I like the instrumental of it. I like the tone of it. It has this drama to it as well, like the previous effort has, but a bit more toned down and maybe more kind of going for the regular pop approach with more like a memorable hook. Slower though, so it kind of kills the energy that maybe the 2013 effort had. I don't really know an answer to why the 2014 effort made it and the 2013 one didn't. Uh, but I would imagine that it's more of a maybe a hook that actually you remember. Could be that. I think this one is only solid though. Nice staging, nice vocal performance. It's quite solid in most areas. I just don't think it's anything to really like anything outstanding about it. But it's just pleasant for the 3 minutes, and then when it's over, I can listen to something else. But I don't think I would actually skip it if it came on. I don't think I'd do that. It's enjoyable enough. Solid. 2015, I would definitely skip. Not for me. They smile so much that I'm really uncomfortable. The song doesn't really have anything about it. Odd structure, odd progression. The vocals, how they work together, don't really match each other that well. I think it just feels like a very tame attempt, and it's not really something that I think a lot of effort has actually been put into, songwriting wise or production wise for that matter. The production is the most lackluster thing, which kind of just maybe goes hand in hand with the song because the song doesn't really have anything either. Um, Unfortunate, but it's just so, what do you call it? Middle of the road, very lackluster, uninteresting, lukewarm. Yeah, we'll leave it where it is, and then we'll move on to "I Didn't Know" by Sir Hat, which is where do you even start with "I Didn't Know"? It's like just the whole concept of the song is so absurd because it started off as this mysterious ballad that almost sounded like it wanted to be Bond inspired, with this whispering vocal style and the instrumental super restrained but also mysterious and suspenseful. Kind of felt like a typical themed song for like a spy movie or a detective thing. It's just so absurd how they then take that and make it into a disco song. I don't think I need to say anything else. You just hear the concept of that. You have this music video as well that all the green screens. Uh, there's a Turkish bald dentist with a monocle, whispering really some kind of off-putting vocals, and then they take that and make it into a disco song. I don't need to say anything else. It's absurd. I think it might be actually a little bit funny, or well, it's actually hilarious in my opinion. But no, it's as a song, it's just no. Oh God. 2017, Spirit of the Night. No, no, no. It's so outdated and so just completely mismatched with the time that we're in. It looks awful, sounds awful. Song doesn't really have much. It's all very amateurish in its delivery and presentation. Production quality is poor. The hook is awful, in my opinion. No, 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 I can't really even justify my opinions for this songs because I just think it's awful. So no. 2018, we'll move forward. I think this one is a little bit better, but it's still not for me. It's not the same kind of like embarrassment level that I get from the 2017. This is probably like, this is among the absolute worst for me. I hate it. 2018, there's a hook here which is quite solid, or well, solid, but it's okay, I think. There's some rapping which is, not really too interesting, but it's not offensive or anything. It's just that I can't really get interested in this song, and especially considering it participated in such a strong year, in my opinion. It's just the worst of the bunch in that year, in my opinion. And I don't really find any strengths within the song. No, it's just not for me. 2019, however, is for me. I mean, Serhat comes back with a song that is uplifting, upbeat. It's a bit dumb, it's a bit silly, yes, but like that's the purpose of the song. The purpose is to be that, and that gave San Marino their best ever result, which is just hilarious. It's solid. I don't think I can really justify putting it anywhere above that. I've already done that mistake once with Rambo Amadeus from Montenegro. I have a tendency to go a bit over the top. This is solid. It's a not a well written song, but it still has qualities within there. I like the chord intervals. I like the hook. It's memorable. It invites everyone to sing along. There's a nice movement within it. The energy never really stops. It keeps going. It's inviting and quite not intense, but it's energetic and just keeps me going. And I have a lot of fun listening to it and also watching it. Like the presentation on stage is also really great, I think. It's done with just the right approach. It knows what it is and it knows what it wants to do and it does it. Which cannot be said for the 2016 effort because they didn't really know what to do with it when they had it at first, and that's why they made it disco. Here, they wanted to make it disco from the very first second, and then it kind of worked. And it connected as well, like it clicked with the audiences. So I really like it, honestly. It's a solid one. 2020, Freaky, it's not for me. It's too loud, it's too kind of obnoxious. It's energetic, which I like. I mean, it's better than the other songs down here, but at the same time, it's just so far away from my type of music. I can't get behind it. Sounds a bit dated in many aspects. The production quality isn't too strong. It's very loud, as I said, and it's kind of messy, I think, as well. Doesn't really have a set idea that it really wants to use or go or like base itself on. And it just kind of becomes a very messy delivery of everything. There's a lot of melodic clashing with the instrumental, and no, it's not for me, but I admire the effort, and they kind of needed to just have that year and kind of think about what they put together because they had something there. And then they went and actually boosted all of the positive qualities about it up and removed all of the bad qualities of it, I guess. Because Adrenalina is a great pop song. I think it's really great. Powerful production, sounds fantastic. The chorus is memorable, very catchy. I can listen to the studio cut of this song any day of the week and never skip it. Never, I won't say never get tired of it because I definitely can. But it's just really well written pop song. I think it has a great melody, has a great flow. The energy keeps itself going all the way throughout. Flow Rida does a feature which works. Felt a bit out of place just when they performed it at Eurovision. Didn't really go as well as they hoped for sure. But I mean, just the kind of idea that they have here, I'm quite fond of it, and I like the professional sound of the song and its presentation. Maybe stage performance wise, it wasn't really everything that it could have been, but the song is definitely there. I think it's a really great pop song. Yeah, not much more to say about that one. Some things can be said about Stripper, but I mean, I like the performance. I think it's very similar to, if you've watched the video I posted yesterday when I talked about songs from Russia in Eurovision, I kind of admired Cerebro and Manisha for their songs because they had an idea and they didn't excuse themselves in any stretch of the imagination and just went for what they wanted to do and didn't hold back. Same thing can be said here. It's just that those two songs that they had, the Russian artist, are better, in my opinion. I don't like the constant riffs throughout this song. I think it's a very monotonous song. It doesn't offer a lot of variation. The melodies are quite stale. There's like the intonation of everything with melodically in this song is very non-existent, in my opinion. Doesn't interest me. Feels like it only wants to showcase a highlight from the song by the performance. I don't think the song is there. I don't think the song was ever there. I was against it from the start, which is kind of not a good approach for me to have when judging music, but it's just a song that doesn't interest me in the slightest. But I like the performance, so I'll have to put it there because I think you kind of have to admire sometimes when someone does something extraordinary and they feel passionately about it and they actually go like they actually attempt to go all the way with it. So that's a strong part of the song, but or of the entry more than the song. But that is the list that I just put together for San Marino, and San Marino is not really among the strongest countries in Eurovision. I think in my opinion, they peaked very early. In terms of results, they did not peak very early. They started off at their worst, which is just absurd when you see the songs that I put down here, how this is their worst result. I shouldn't dwell on it. This is my list for San Marino and their entries in Eurovision. Do share what your list would look like in the comments. I'll be looking forward to reading all about that. And I hope to see you very soon again. Take care of yourselves until then, and bye.